In the tranquil heart of the Sunnydale Bird Garden, a place usually filled with the melodic chirping of birds, a sudden commotion caught the attention of Avery, the dedicated bird keeper. A hawk, not usually seen in this serene sanctuary, swooped down in a flash, targeting a defenseless songbird. Avery, heart in her throat, rushed towards the scene expecting the worst. But as she arrived, her eyes widened in disbelief at the remarkable turn of events unfolding before her. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Avery had worked at the bird garden for a year now and had loved every minute of it. She always had a passion for birds and the outdoors. She just never thought she would actually make a career out of it, but here she was, happily strolling through the garden, listening to the chirping birds. Suddenly, it was dead, silent. It seemed like all of the birds had stopped chirping at the same time. Avery knew this was a bad sign. She looked up at the sky and, you guessed it, there was a huge hawk circling above the garden. The hawk's piercing screech echoed through the trees, scaring not only the birds, but also Avery. She waited safely under the roof for the hawk to leave, but it continued to circle above the garden. Avery's heart pounded in her chest. This bird garden was a sanctuary, not only for healthy birds, but also for recovering birds. She felt it was her duty to protect them against this hawk, but how on earth would she figure out which of the birds the hawk had its eyes on? As she stepped out from under the gazebo, the hawk screeched again. Avery watched as the hawk dove down right into the bird garden. "He!" Avery yelled, Go, get away!" The hawk quickly flew back up into the sky, but it didn't go away from the garden. It circled around for a few more minutes, probably waiting for Avery to go away, but she wasn't planning to do so. She stayed put as the minutes ticked by. After about half an hour, the hawk flew away. Now Avery could breathe easy again, or so she thought. She got up from the ground and began to walk towards the staff room when she suddenly heard a deafening screech, and it wasn't from the hawk. One of the birds was screaming bloody murder, but which one was it? She had no idea where the hawk could be or which bird it could be tormenting. Suddenly, one of her co-workers came running into the garden. "Avery, what is that sound?" she frantically asked. "A hawk is attacking one of the birds, but I don't know which one." "You have to help me, Jamie. Please," Avery pleaded. Her co-worker confidently nodded in agreement. "You take this side, I take the other side. Together we will find the bastard." With every second that ticked by, Avery felt her hope slipping away. And now that it was dead silent, she feared the worst. She looked in every birdhouse she saw, in every nest she could reach, and by every water fountain, but there was no hawk. Those nests are surrounded by glass and monitored by cameras. I'm sure someone would have seen the hawk on the security screen by now. But Avery didn't want to leave a stone unturned. So, she ran toward the rehabilitating section of the bird garden. She didn't have the right key card to open the door, so she banged her fists on the door, hoping someone would hear her. Sadly, no one opened the door. Strange. How can nobody hear us? Whose shift is it? Avery asked as she looked at Jamie. "Let me check the schedule," Jamie said as she took out her phone. As she read her email, Avery could see a change in Jamie's expression. "Shit," she said. "It's Dave's shift, and you know what that means. He's probably asleep." Avery finished Jamie's sentence. "Ugh, this is the worst day of my life," Avery yelled. "Dave, open the door." Jamie sighed. "This isn't going to help. I might know another way in, but we have to be lucky. I always leave the window open in the women's bathroom when I have a shift at the rehabilitation section." Avery and Jamie hurried to the women's bathroom. The window was slightly open as Jamie predicted. Avery, with a mix of fear and resolve, followed Jamie's agile climb through the small opening. In a secluded corner of the section, Avery found Dave, the guard, asleep in his chair, completely oblivious to the chaos outside. Avery gently shook Dave's shoulder, trying to wake him. His eyes fluttered open. Confusion etched on his face. "What's happening? Avery? Jamie?" "Why are you here?" he mumbled, rubbing his eyes. The sound of his disoriented voice filled the room. Avery quickly explained the situation, her words tumbling out in a rush. "Dave, have you seen a hawk in here?" Avery asked urgently. Dave, now more alert, shook his head. "No, I haven't seen anything unusual," he replied, his voice tinged with uncertainty. She asked, her voice a mix of disbelief and concern. As they neared the nest, Avery and Jamie moved with heightened caution. The possibility of what they might find loomed large in their minds. Avery's hands trembled slightly, betraying her nervousness. Jamie's eyes were focused, reflecting a sense of resolve. Finally, they reached the nest. Avery and Jamie exchanged a brief, nervous glance before peering inside. To their astonishment, the scene inside the nest was not one of predation, but of a surprising, gentle interaction. The hawk, far from harming the small bird, appeared to be protecting it. Avery's eyes widened in disbelief, while a look of wonder spread across Jamie's face. This unexpected display of care by the hawk led Avery to question her long-held beliefs about nature's relationships. The simplistic labels of predator and prey seemed inadequate to describe the intricate tapestry of life she was witnessing. Avery and Jamie began to discuss the potential changes that could be implemented at the bird garden. They envisioned policies that would better reflect the complex dynamics of nature they had witnessed. The hawk and the small bird, in their unique relationship, became a powerful symbol for the bird garden. They represented the unexpected harmony that can exist in nature, challenging conventional ideas about predator and prey. Avery and Jamie proposed using this remarkable story as part of the sanctuary's educational outreach, illustrating the complexity and beauty of natural relationships. Emboldened by these experiences, Avery felt ready to embrace a new chapter in her life. This chapter wasn't just about her role at the bird garden. It was a personal journey of growth and understanding. The story concludes with Avery looking toward the future with hope and a renewed sense of purpose. The bird garden, once a place of straightforward conservation, was now a beacon of deeper understanding and respect for nature's complexities. Avery, with Jamie by her side, was ready to lead this transformation, inspired by the lessons learned from the hawk and the small bird. The sanctuary stood poised to embark on a new path, one that embraced the unexpected harmony and beauty of the natural world.